Hey guys, sorry this video's unplanned, and the lighting's bad and I'm on my webcam, so sorry about that. Just to get that out of the way. It's like 10:50 at night and I just was watching Netflix and I really just wanted to make this video. I've been wanting to make it for a while. I have little like epiphanies every now and then. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. Um, but this obviously, if you see the title, is obviously about anxiety. And I've mentioned that I have anxiety in a couple of videos. I mean, some people may not know, but I do. I have anxiety disorder. And, ooh, I'm so sorry. I will turn that off. That always happens to my videos. I'm sorry. I really honestly just wanted to talk to you guys about it and kind of talk about the difference between anxiety disorder and anxiety. Talk about my experience because I know a lot of people go through and have anxiety disorder along with depression. They really coincide a lot of the time. Some people don't have both. A lot of people do have both of them. And talk about my experience, my personal experience, and how I kind of got through it over the years. So, yeah, this video will probably be really long. If you are not interested, I mean, it's not a beauty or fashion video, so if you're not interested, you don't have to watch it. But if you're interested in my story, or if you have anxiety and find this might be helpful, then you can keep on watching. So, yeah. Um, First, I want to start off talking about anxiety disorder versus anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling. It is just a nervous feeling over normal things, such as about to take a test, about to give a speech, about to, for example, for me, going out and on stage and performing for like a dance recital, I get a little anxious. Well, I get more than anxious, but like a normal person would just be, that's like the feeling, anxious. Um, but just because you get anxious at normal, everyday things does not mean you have anxiety disorder. And I think that's a big thing. People are like, oh, I have anxiety, like blah blah blah. No, that's a normal feeling. Everyone has anxiety. Everyone gets anxious over certain things. But anxiety disorder is getting nervous and getting just a bad feeling over just nothing. Generalized anxiety disorder is kind of exactly how it sounds. It's over kind of just nothing. And that's what I have. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I just get anxious over nothing. It'll just happen randomly um, and out of the blue, and it's really hard to control. So yeah, there's also social anxiety where you get anxiety, like really bad anxiety around a person or a group of people. There's certain anxiety like I don't know how to describe it. Obviously, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so like whatever. But yeah, there's like different events or things that you can get really really anxious over, and be categorized to have anxiety disorder. So um, if well, let me first tell my story, and then I will continue from there. So I kind of knew I had anxiety for a while, but I really didn't. My family, none, like no one in my family has anxiety, and I honestly didn't know if it was anxiety. I didn't know what was going on with me. I really felt like I just couldn't breathe a lot of the time, and that scared me really bad. Um, I was just nervous all the time, and going through school, I was really tense and really like I felt like I just had to move, I had to get up. Sometimes I felt like I had to leave class and I like couldn't because I didn't know what I would tell my teachers because I had no idea what was going on with me. It was literally awful, and that kind of got really bad in my junior year of high school. Wow, this side looks really a lot shorter. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna stop playing with my hair. I do that a lot. Anyways, so it was really really bad junior year, and finally one night uh my mom actually just asked me one night because I was just having a horrible night, and it's a long story what happened that night, but she was like, are you having an anxiety attack or whatever? And I was like, yeah, like I think I have anxiety. And I was so scared to tell her. I was talking to my friend about it for like a month. I was like, I need to tell my mom I have anxiety. Like I know I have anxiety. Um, and I kind of just figured it out for myself. Like, I knew I had anxiety, and I was just so scared to tell my mom and scared to get help. And because I didn't know if it was anxiety, I was scared to see, like, I didn't know if I was gonna get better. Like, I don't know, I was just very unsure. And that's part of the reason I wanted to make this video, to make other people who may think they have anxiety disorder, make them more confident in getting help, because there is help and you can get better from it. Anyways, so, I kind of went along with my life, and it got really, really bad. I'm not sure what made it so bad, but I had an anxiety attack, like a very, very, very bad one, like a blown out panic attack. I thought I was gonna die. That is pretty much, if anyone has ever had a panic attack or an anxiety attack, you cannot breathe. You feel like you're gonna die. I literally thought I was dying. Um, and that, like, I say that so casually, but when you're going through it, it's awful. It's literally the worst feeling. It, like, makes me really emotional. Anyways, and it's really hard for people who have not gone through it to understand. So if you've not gone through it, it's going to be really hard for you to understand what an anxiety attack is like. It's absolutely awful. You hyperventilate and you can't help it, so then your whole body starts going numb, and it's awful. And it was like my first full blown out panic attack, and I didn't know, nothing caused it. Um, it was completely random. So I didn't know what was going on. I just couldn't breathe, and so my family, or my mom and dad, I tried to, like, walk it out. I literally was walking around my house, like, trying to, like, get better. Like, I don't know. So my mom and dad finally took me to the ER because they didn't know what to do, and they just wanted to make sure that everything else was going okay with me, like nothing was wrong with my heart or like anything else. So they took me to the ER. The ER knew it was a panic attack. They gave me anti-anxiety medication and some oxygen to calm me down, and then I was pretty much okay, and they gave me just probably like a week's worth of anti-anxiety medication. I believe it was Valium or it was Xanax, one of those. I could talk about medicine in a little bit because I do take medicine for my anxiety, but anyways, so I had that, but I was just so scared to have another panic attack. I still felt like I couldn't breathe most of the day. It was still really bad. And then I was driving, or I wasn't driving, I was in the car with my mom, and I had another panic attack. This one was a little bit worse than the last one because I started losing feeling in my hands and arms, and that freaked me out. And I just couldn't breathe again, and it freaked my mom out because, like, I'd never really happened like that before, and I was just freaking out, so she was freaking out, so we were driving, so she drove me to the hospital again, and I had the same doctor, which was really, it was just, like, funny how I had the same doctor, like, from the ER as the last time I was there. So clearly, I needed to see someone at that point, so he gave me a different medication. He gave me Valium, and my mom set up an appointment with a counselor or a psychologist. The difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is that a psychologist does not and cannot prescribe medicine. A psychologist is like a counselor. They talk to you, they try to get to the bottom of what triggers your anxiety, they talk about coping mechanisms, and a psychiatrist talks about that stuff as well, but they can prescribe medicine. So I went to a psychologist. She knew I was bad. I could barely talk, I could barely breathe, and she knew it was just really, really bad with me. So she pretty much labeled me as an emergency to see a psychiatrist. So I think that same week I went to a psychiatrist that she told my parents about, and I went there, and again, it was just, my psychiatrist knew I was super bad and that I needed to get on medicine. There are people having anxiety disorder that can get through it without medicine. Mine happened to be really, really bad, and that sucks for me. It does suck, but people with anxiety disorder can get through it without medicine, and if you can get through it without medicine, try to. There are so many ways to get through it without medicine. Psychologists can help you. It takes time. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm just going to finish up my story. So pretty much my psychiatrist put me right away on medicine, and I will talk about that medicine in a second. But yeah, and that helped immensely. But I still had anxiety, and I needed to get to the bottom of it. So I still saw a psychologist, and then I saw a psychiatrist for the medicine. So if you see a psychiatrist and you get medication, you still want to see a psychologist, because the medicine isn't going to cure you. The psychologist is going to help mainly get your anxiety to go away, because you want to find out what's triggering it, because if you find out what's triggering it, then you can avoid that, and then you won't have as much or any anxiety about it. Anxiety doesn't really go away. If you have anxiety disorder, you can control it, you can maintain it, but it's not really a curable thing mostly. I mean, I don't personally, like, I've not seen someone who has had anxiety disorder be completely cured. I think it's kind of sticks with you and you just maintain it and control it. So yeah, I had a really hard time my senior year. My grades dropped. Um, the medicine did help, but it took a while to um, work a little bit and for me to kind of get my life under control. So it was hard. Senior year it was a hard time for me. In high school, I did have a good time, but I mean, it was just a hard time for me with my anxiety, and I would have to leave class and go home a lot just because um, I would just have anxiety attacks or just really bad anxiety. So um, yeah, senior year was not very good, and then also I was applying for colleges and all that stuff, and I didn't want to go away to college. I wanted to like commute to college because I just wanted to be close to home, so I was like scared with my anxiety and everything. And then toward the end of senior year, I got pretty okay, and I ended up wanting to go here to JMU, which is about an hour and a half from my house. I thought it was really good. Over the summer before my freshman year of college, which is where I am right now, I was pretty good, and I started getting a lot better, and I'm a lot better now. So it took pretty much like a year and a half to 2 years for me to get where I am right now, where I can control myself. I don't have anxiety 24/7. Obviously, the medicine is a big help, and I have to take medicine. Um, I'm working on trying to get off medicine. I don't want to have to rely on medicine. That's just a personal opinion. I don't like medicine, and if you don't have to take medicine, don't, because you don't want to rely on something to get you through the day. That's just my personal opinion. I hate having to rely on a pill. Actually, I take like 7 pills, like throughout a whole day. Like, I hate having to rely on um, medicine to get me through my day, but I have to, and that's just the reality of it. So, I'll talk about medicine, then I'll talk about if like other stuff, like ways if you have anxiety, if you think you have anxiety, um, kind of steps sort of that I took. So for medicine, your psychiatrist will definitely talk to you about this. A lot of medicines have side effects, so you kind of have to talk to your psychiatrist if you are going to a psychiatrist, sorry, and taking medicine. I was put on Klonopin, which is in the category of Xanax, Valium, Percocet, all those like anti-anxiety medications. Those made me so tired, and I still am tired to this day from my anti-anxiety medication. Pretty much what anti-anxiety medication does is slows the impulses in your brain, because anxiety makes you really tense and really hyped up and really nervous, and so you want to kind of slow that down, and that's what the medicine does, and so it's going to make you tired. Also, I was put on a medicine called Lexapro, which works with the serotonin in your brain. It's also a depression medication as well. And then I was also put on, those were the two medicines I was put on at first. I was then prescribed Trileptal, um, and I've been on that for a while. And then instead of Lexapro, I was just changed to Cymbalta. You guys may have heard of that. I think I've heard of it on TV, honestly, but it's more of it works with depression and anxiety, because since I started college, like the beginning of my college, freshman year of college, I was a little bit depressed and having like depression and stuff like that. So yeah, my psychiatrist decided to put me on a medication that fought anxiety and depression. So those right now I'm on Cymbalta, Trileptal, and Klonopin, and I take 20 milligrams of Cymbalta a day. I take 900 milligrams of Trileptal a day. I take 450 in the morning, 450 at night, and then I take 2 milligrams of Klonopin a day. I take one in the morning and one at night. So yeah, I take that every day. I'm tired all the time, but school and my life are the most important, and that's pretty much the mindset you have to have. I did not have that mindset when I first had anxiety and when I first got, diagnosed. Um, I honestly, I didn't want to do anything. I did not want to go to school. I didn't care about my grades. I mean, I did. I always have cared about my grades, but my grades, I had a 4.2 GPA in um, in my junior year, and then senior year I had a 3.6. So my GPA dropped to a 3.9 to like overall. And honestly, like I know if I didn't have anxiety, I could have had my GPA like kept at a 4.2, 4.3. Um, but it's so hard, and it's not really an excuse. You can't really use anxiety as an excuse, and I learned that over the years because I've tried to use it as an excuse, and I still try to use it as an excuse because I mean, it's really hard, and if you don't have anxiety, like, you don't know how lucky you are if you don't live with a mental disorder because people don't treat them like a disease or an illness or anything like that because they're not, I don't know, they're just not categorized like that, like cancer or like the flu. If you have the flu, you stay home and sick. If you have really bad anxiety, you're expected to come to school. If you write a note saying, "Oh, I had really bad anxiety," most of your teachers are going to probably, I mean, some teachers may be understanding. Mental illnesses are becoming more recognized nowadays, but most of your teachers are probably not gonna count that as an excuse. Um, if you think you have anxiety, some symptoms are just really like being nervous over nothing, being really tense, really like feeling you have to like get out of somewhere, feeling like you need to like want to get out of your own body, can't breathe, really fast heart. I never had the fast heart beating. That's a really common symptom though. You could have anxiety, and if you think you have anxiety, talk to your parents and ask to see a counselor. You can talk to a school counselor, and there's ways to fight it, and you have to know that it takes time, and you have to not give up on it. It's the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with, and it like makes me so emotional. Sorry, I'm like whatever. But it's it's so hard and I still do it. I deal with it every single day and I um kind of just have learned to cope with it and I've learned um like toward the beginning of this, I was like, I just want my anxiety to go away. That's my goal. I don't want anxiety. But I've realized that I'm always going to have anxiety because that's how my brain works and that's how I am. I have anxiety and it's not going away, but I can cope with it and I can make myself better and I can take medication to control it and I can, if I am having a sudden onset of anxiety or about to have an anxiety attack, I know how to control myself so that I don't have that anxiety attack. And that's the mindset that you have to go into it um, when you're trying to cure it or not cure it, but like when you're trying to, what's the word? I completely lost track of thought. When you're trying to cope with it, yeah. So I'm here for anyone who has any mental illness disorder, anything like that. There's depression, there's eating disorders, there's personality disorders, schizophrenia, there's so many disorders, and I didn't realize, like, I have so much more respect from just having one, and that shouldn't be the case. It's just when you have an anxiety, or not just anxiety disorder, when you have a mental disorder, it's so much easier to understand how, like, what people are going through with any mental disorder. I have a friend that has multiple mental disorders, and I completely, um, I'm understanding when she's going through stuff. I'm like, I get it. Like, I know. Like, it sucks. It really does. And before I had anxiety disorder, I kind of was like, why are you feeling this way? Why? Like, why? Like, but when I developed anxiety disorder, I understood. I understood, like, this is real. Like, this is a real thing. And this affects every single part of your body, your mind, and everything that you do in life. It affects every single part of your day and it sucks. So I want to let all of you know that if any of you guys have any mental disorder and you need someone to talk to, I'm always here. You can message me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram and direct message me. And if you message me on YouTube, I can give you an email. Sorry, people are being loud out in my hall. You can message, or you can email me, and I'll be happy to talk to you guys. I really want to make mental illnesses more, or make people more aware of mental illnesses and how much they can affect us. And so many people are um, developing mental illnesses, and I just want to make people more aware. So I am trying to come up with something to do, an organization or a page of, I don't know, I'm trying to think. So if you guys have any ideas and you'd like to support, let me know in the comments. I'm sorry this video is 20 minutes, I can't edit it. It's kind of just me talking, and if you watch it to the end, props to you. If you didn't, you won't hear this, but I completely understand. But I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my story. I've really been hesitant to tell my complete story of my anxiety. It's very personal to me. A lot of people ask. My strength tattoo has everything to do with my anxiety. Whenever people ask, like, what does that mean to you? And sometimes I tell them, sometimes I don't. I don't know. It's personal to me. Um, and that's kind of like, it's a hidden spot, so a lot of people don't see it. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about my tattoo, but that tattoo, I made a video on it. That has everything to do with my anxiety, nothing else really. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. It's really long. I hope you guys enjoyed my story. Not enjoyed it, but enjoyed like hearing me tell my story, I guess. If you have anything, if you want to share your story, you can leave a comment. If you want to just talk to me personally, you can message me on YouTube. You can direct message me on Instagram. My Instagram is always in the description. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great night or day, depending on where you live. And I will be posting normal videos very soon. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great night or day. Bye.